So the FitnessGram pacer test, what was that all about? One day you're in PE class and they bring out a speaker to start playing some running program. You look to your right and left, you're all in a line, and you start running back and forth. Just some random memory in the back of our head from grade school. Standard practice or what?
The school day offered a routine to get kids learning different subjects. But kids aren't meant to sit in one place for 7 straight hours, so you gotta give them an outlet to shake off the energy and jitters. PE teachers would always be coming up with the most random stuff for us to do. Sure, they could make us play basketball or flag football, or they could bring out some activities that no one's ever even seen before, like some random Tuesday. We'd get to the gym and there would be some massive parachute on the floor, and it's like, sure, why not? The gym teachers needed a way to grade the students. What did they do? The mile run. I liked it a lot. Each minute barrier was a big deal, and it was cool to whittle down that time. But the mile had its issues: weather conditions, track availability, pacing problems. So one day, they gather us all up and try something different: the FitnessGram pacer test. Some random program from a guy named Luke Ledger that the gym instructors went crazy over. So what was Mr. Ledger trying to accomplish? He was trying to solve a problem. How do you accurately measure someone's cardiovascular endurance in a controlled environment, especially when you're dealing with an entire class of students? The test itself is actually pretty sophisticated when you break it down. It starts at a comfortable 8.5 kilometers per hour, basically a brisk walk. Every minute, marked as a new level, the required speed increases by 0.5 kilometer per hour. Miss the line before the beep twice? You're done. Your score is the last level and shuttle you completed. So level 7.6, that means you made it through the full 7 levels and then got to a 6th shuttle of level 8 before your legs gave out. The test was actually measuring something called VO2 max, your body's maximum rate of oxygen consumption during exercise. Each level correlates to a specific VO2 max score. Now, I wasn't really thinking about that, and the technical jargon was secondary to just going as hard as possible. We knew we had to keep running until we couldn't. I thought that the pacer test was really neat. At the beginning, you're a little restless because the intervals, they're so lofty. But slowly, it starts to speed up, and now you're running at a respectable pace and people are starting to drop out. One by one, the crowd, it gets smaller, and being one of the few left, battling against the voice on the speaker, it was a real rush. I think there's something about that competition that added a special allure that mattered as a kid. Everyone had that one kid in their class who seemed to defy human limitations, running well into the double digits while everyone else was done. It would be even better to be one of those guys.
Your identity matters. Who you are and what you're proud of is a central part of how you present yourself. And when you were younger, and this is before a lot of the things that we traditionally tether ourselves to start to take into effect, like money or career or relationships. Back then, your overall athleticism or your ability to run quickly was a way that you could establish yourself. And so when you're running as a part of a group and then slowly starts to dwindle down as the levels increase, it's basically like one massive dick measuring contest. And best be assured, I took that seriously.
Every once in a while, the gym teachers wouldn't bring out a meme game, and instead we got to play dodgeball. That was a rush, the closest you're ever going to get to a contact sport in PE class. There's not a lot of opportunities where you can just throw something as hard as possible. Flinging a ball at a guy was super fun. Even better if you nail them. But sometimes the pacer test or dodgeball or the mile run, it doesn't quite scratch that itch. Cross country was a big part of growing up. I wasn't born a great runner, and I didn't aspire to be a competitive runner, but I went to cross country practice anyways because I liked to run. Sometimes you're running in the park or through neighborhoods, or sometimes you're just running laps around the track, and even through the blistering heat, I liked it a lot. I'll never forget the mornings when it was this cool and humid outside, a light fog and mist hovering in the air. I'm running and I can feel the water particles brush by, and I would be having a blast. There's something about how simple running is that creates this peaceful contrast from everything else. Just daydream about whatever, video games, maybe drawing up mock trades for your favorite sports team, all while you put one step in front of the other. So physical education is important in grade school because it helps the kids get the jitters out and teaches them some motor skills along the way. But clearly some people want more than that, and they sign up for practice before or after school. Basketball, swimming, track. What is this extra something that athletics add to someone's life?
And the answer is structure. I think it is really important to exercise or do a sport, especially when you're younger. It teaches the values of consistency and accountability. What do you have to do if you want to make the basketball team? You have to arrive at the same time on certain days for a long time. You have to have a routine, doing the same drills again and again. Sometimes it might be difficult, but it teaches you that you have to have a level of discipline. You have to establish yourself over an extended period of time in order to get anything done. And believe me, I struggle with that all the time too. But having that value set displayed in front of you, in front of your eyes, when you're younger and as you grow up, is a central part of how you can develop into a better person.
Looking back on the pacer test, I think it was really fun. It kind of just sticks out in my memory above everything, hearing that southern accent explain that the FitnessGram pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test. I remember my time going to cross-country practice throughout school, but of course I did. We did it over and over again, but the pacer test was just some random thing.
In the end, maybe that's what makes it special. Not the actual running, not the music, not even the robotic voice, but the fact that it's this one weird thing that connects us all. A shared memory of a time when fitness testing meant running between two lines until a beep told you you couldn't anymore.